School is a wonderful way for our children to grow in their learning, relationships, and faith too. Be with everyone here as they learn more about TNS and their school year together. In your name we pray. Amen. I think I'm turning it over to Miss Brenda. All right.
All right. Nice to see so many people out on this nice evening. I am Brenda Jensen. If I've only spoken to you on the phone or through email, I am so glad to finally be seeing you. That is wonderful. I'm going to do a bunch of introductions right now. So anybody from the church staff that's here, if they want to make their way up here so they can wave, that would be great. Look at that. Way to be a leader, Aaron. So Kate Verlatz is our high school ministry person here at Trinity. So if you've got any high schoolers in your life, Kate would love to get to know them. She also is a first-time preschool parent this year, so she is excited about that as well. So thanks, Kate. All right, Erin Terez. Erin is taking a break from being a preschool parent this year. She, for church, is our connection coordinator. So she does a lot of things with getting people connected with activities, getting people connected with people, getting new members connected with the church, getting anyone connected with the church that might already be a member. So Erin's here a couple days a week. So she's on the website. She's got an email address. We can leave her a note. We can do whatever we want. So she would love to connect with you if you have any Trinity questions. You met Chris. Chris is our deacon here, and like she said, she's our preschool go-to person amongst everything else, faith formation. So she does babies to adults. So we're glad to have her on board as well. Tanya greeted you when you came in. Tanya's really good at that. We love her. Tanya's our church administrator, so she answers every other question that the rest of us don't know the answer to. That's what we make her do. Nancy Keller is helping us out at the tuition table tonight. She's digging way down deep when she used to be a preschool parent long ago, helping us out fill a spot tonight. She also does all of our deposits. So you may hear from her if there's an issue, or if you have a question, I may send you to her because she might be able to help us figure it out. And Pastor Todd Bugler. So Todd is our senior pastor, and he has an office right above Miss Hagen's classroom, so he gets to participate in preschool every day, as does Chris. Hers is above Mrs. Meyer's room. So we keep them connected as best that we can, and we any Trinity questions, anything you need to know or want to talk about, they are available, as well as any of the other Trinity staff that is not here tonight. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Okay. All right, write that down, everybody. All right, thanks, you guys. And then we'll introduce some preschool staff. The preschool staff, they're going to come up here because I'm going to introduce them. Katie. All right, we're excited this year. We have 3 returning staff and 3 returning teacher assistants. It's very exciting. They've been working hard all summer, getting us organized and keeping us together and making new dreams and thoughts and everything. Over here on my left is Katie Duffy, and this will be Katie's 3rd year as a teacher assistant here. And Karen Nurk is a teacher assistant, and this will be Karen's 9th year. Next to Karen is Karen Stephenson. Karen teaches 4s, and this is Karen's 8th year here at Trinity. And next to Karen is Jane Starman. Jane will be teacher assisting on Thursday and Friday this year. And this is Jane's 10th year here at preschool. Next we have Shelby Hagen, and this is Shelby's 2nd year teaching with us, and she will have 3s and 4s this year. And Heidi Meyer is also in her second year teaching. She's ridden the whole preschool ride pretty much. She's been as a parent and a board member and a staff member before that. And so this is Heidi's second year teaching, and she'll be doing 3s and 5s this year. So thanks, guys. And you can meet them at their tables later. And then we have some board members sprinkled around, if you guys want to come up too. All right, this is Carly Bugler. Carly's going to be sitting at the volunteer table tonight. She's a special events person on our board. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but she's got a few opportunities there, and we hope that we'll be able to add more opportunities back in as the school year progresses. Amber is new to our board, Amber Caswell. She's a new parent this year, and she is on our board as our new vice chair. So we got to keep her around for a few years, so that's great. Marnie Slack is our board chair. Marnie's also starting her preschool career this year, so that is great. And this is her first year as chair, so you get to hear from her in a little bit. Nikki Callahan is also here tonight, and Nikki's our registrar, so some of you may have spoken to her when you did registration things. She'll be back at the tuition table tonight with Karen and Nancy, answering any of your tuition questions back there. So thanks for being here, you guys, and we have a few board people that weren't able to be here tonight, so thanks a lot. All right, Marnie, you can probably stay. Oh, get your stuff, yeah. So, like I said, I'm really glad that you're all here. Obviously, we all know it's been a crazy summer, a crazy spring, trying to figure out what's going on. We've been working with the Department of Human Services, and we feel really confident that we have a really good plan in place for preschool for the fall. Like I've been saying to everybody, lots of flexibility and lots of grace are going to get us through, because we can do hard things and they can be fun. So our goal is to make preschool as close to preschool as it can be in a healthy and safe environment for everybody. So Marnie's going to go through the PowerPoint, and then when we're all finished, we'll do some questions and answers for anybody that has more, doesn't get an answer for what they're thinking about while we go through the PowerPoint.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody once again for joining us tonight. Me being a new parent, I was glad that I had the opportunity to prepare for this presentation because I learned a lot about what I need to know as a parent to make sure that my child is successful when she attends TNS for the first time here in a couple weeks. So Brenda's going to drive, and our first slide. So what do you need to know before the first day of school? So individual family school visits with the teachers. So again, you should have received a salmon color sheet. So one of the items that you're going to check off tonight is to make sure that you sign up for a time to meet with your child's teacher. So that will be, more information will be forthcoming once you sign up for a time. So the other thing that we will ask you to do is to enter through the main doors here of the church, and then your visit will be at that specific time. And again, make sure that your child comes with you so that they get to know their teacher. All right, so a day in the life of your preschooler. This is a big deal for them. So coming to school, the first day of school will be Tuesday, September 8th. And for those of you who have 2-day classes, those will begin on Thursday, September 10th. So be sure to mark your calendars accordingly. So morning classes, again, those begin at 8:15. Afternoon classes will begin at 11:45. So again, there is a note within your packet to make sure that upon arrival, for those attending 8:15 classes, arrive at 8:10, unless you sign up for morning care. The other thing, for afternoon classes, arrive at 11:40, unless you sign up for, again. Preschool entrances this year will be through the main doors. So again, that's a change in plans from what maybe your child encountered last year. So again, this is due to, again, the restrictions that we're under. So Ms. Hagan and Mrs. Meyer's classes will use the east doors. So again, that's right out here under the little awning. And then Mrs. Stephenson's classes will use the north doors. So again, when you're dropping your child off, please pay specific attention to where we're asking you to come in. Again, drop-off will begin 10 minutes before each class, and then your child will be escorted downstairs by one of our TNF staff members. Staff and student temperatures will be taken upon arrival each day. So again, just make sure that you prepare your child for what will happen each day. If they go to a daycare setting, again, I'm sure that this is part of a current routine, but again, that will be something that they will be asked to do. And if you need to enter for any reason, again, please follow the posted mask guidelines. Again, indoors, wear a mask. All right, so before school care, again, available from 7:30 to 8:15, $4 a day, and space is available. So if you're interested in that option, be sure to visit Brenda at her table. And after school care, that's again available from 2:15 to 3 o'clock, $4 a day. And again, if that's of interest, see Brenda. All right. This was one thing that I came across, and I'm like, oh, hey, I don't have to go and buy a backpack for my 3-year-old. They will be using a big blue bag, like what you see up on the screen here. The big blue bag will have their name on it, and this is your child's backpack. This is something for them to be proud of, to carry with pride, and all of the school correspondence and paperwork and projects that they receive and participate in, they'll be in the big blue bag. So again, make sure that you're involved in checking that blue bag, and again, that will add to their positive experience encountered at TNS. You're fine. All right, so lockers. So we don't have lockers here, we have hooks here. So each child has a labeled hook for their coats and other items that they might need. So again, one of our requests is that you label everything because again, lots of kids, lots of stuff that gets misplaced. So if you can just add your child's name to their coats and such, that would be much appreciated. And for winter items, place mittens, boots, and whatever else they need to remain warm in a separate bag. So there will be times that students go outside. So again, just keep that in mind to prepare for that. All right, these pictures are really sad, but our hope is that your child has a very positive experience. One of the things that usually helps make the transition is quick exits by parents. If you stand and linger and, the separation gets harder and harder. And so it is suggested that, quick exits, have a good day, see you in a little bit, will make for a much more positive experience. I know it's hard. All right, daily snacks. For my daughter, I always better have a snack on me. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 snacks. I see a lot of nods in the audience. A monthly snack calendar will be given out by teachers. And so again, this is your child's way to participate in snack. We recommend and ask that healthy snacks be provided. The other thing that we ask is that you prepare for 8 children. So, whether it's individual raisin boxes or, what other snacks your child would like to bring. We also prefer a single bottle of juice versus individual juice boxes. This is at the request of the teachers and aides to make sure that it is a single. It's easier to pour cups versus unwrap 10 or 8 straws and put them in juice boxes or pouches. Your teacher will appreciate that. Drop-off is a great time for the child to deliver the snack. And again, they're proud, they're excited to share. So again, that's a great teaching element for them. All right, so should I bring my child to school? You've heard a lot about it. There's information in your handbook all about COVID. So again, keep these things in mind. Any sort of a cough or shortness of breath, if the child exhibits 2 of the following, I'm not going to go through all of these, but again, please be mindful. Myself included, has some anxiety about this whole school thing. So, again, if we all do our part to make sure that it's a positive and healthy experience, that will be a common theme for all of us here. So, if you have any questions about the plan or, you need greater detail, again, please reach out to Brenda and the staff here at church. All right, weather closings. So again, we live in Minnesota, so it is evident that we might have a school closing. So we recommend that you take a look at the TNS page on Facebook. We follow what happens with the Owatonna school districts. So TNS is closed when Owatonna public schools are closed. Again, checking email, making sure that we have your email address updated and on file is really important. If for some reason there's an early dismissal or 2 hours late, again, we follow what happens with Owatonna Public Schools. All right, illness. Again, going back to what you see up on the screen, temperature, diarrhea, vomiting, or contagious disease. Again, please just stay home. It is better off for everybody, and we'll all appreciate that. One quick note up here that the symptoms have to be gone for 24 hours to return to school, so keep that in mind. All right, and then please note the school calendar on page 2 of your handbook. There are various dates, so again, I would recommend just getting those on the calendar so you know what's happening when. All right, an ordinary schedule. Again, I learned as I was putting this presentation together what happens during the day for my 3-year-old. So we have greeting and opening, carpet time, a learning activity, free play, group time, snack, large motor, and then obviously preparation for home. And so those 2 hours are going to fly by. And so, you can read more about what's going to happen within that handbook, again, what happens during each of those specific time blocks. All right, page 9 and 10. All right, so on ordinary days, obviously COVID has impacted greatly what can happen during a school year, and so field trips will be evaluated as things progress. So if things are staying the same, there might be a field trip to an apple orchard or a pumpkin patch. We might have some guest speakers in. I know that there was a lot of positivity around the doctor coming in or the dentist coming in and the cool stuff that they got from those visits. So again, keep that in mind. Again, tornado and fire drills, those are practiced as well. It's really important that we teach those things early on, and your child will participate in those. All right, on any regular day. So children may have to use the restroom. So again, making sure that they're comfortable doing that in a public setting is important. Again, the idea here is to reduce anxiety. And again, making sure that you show your child where those facilities are is important. Obviously, the teachers and staff will make sure that your child is comfortable, but again, another responsibility. Young men also need to make sure that they can use a urinal. This is something new for little boys. They might not have been exposed to these things based on, obviously, we've all been sequestered to our homes. So again, make sure your little one knows how to use that toilet. All right, going home. So dismissal will be at the same door as you arrived. So again, north doors for Mrs. Stephenson and Miss Hagan and Mrs. Meyer under the awning here. So again, that's where you would pick up your child. And again, it's important to be prompt on those pickups. So again, arriving at right after class. Children will only be released to authorized adults. So when you're filling out your contact forms, again, just make sure that you communicate appropriately who will be picking up your child, if it's a grandparent or an aunt or something like that. We want to make sure that our kids remain safe and go with people who they're supposed to go with. Make sure you bring home all personal items, including the big blue bag. Again, be interested in what your kid is learning. Again, that will help make sure that they have a a positive experience. And then check the bag for any sort of correspondence that happens between the child and their teacher, or the teacher and the parent. All right, the role of you as a parent. Communication. Communication is key. I'm seeing some nods by the staff. Yes, this is important for your child's education. So again, reading any correspondence, attending parent-teacher conferences. These are held twice a year, and so more information will be forthcoming on that. The fall conference will focus on the social aspects of school, and then the spring conference will focus on all areas of development. So again, just a really good opportunity to see how your child is progressing over the course of the year. School observations and visits. I think that more information, again, will be forthcoming based on, what we see and hear with COVID and what that looks like. I think Brenda will probably send out some sort of communication on, if observation is available, what that might look like too. All right, and then the last is open door policy. So if you're experiencing, or your child is struggling or whatever, just make sure that you let the staff know so that we can accommodate and understand what's going on. Open door policy is always the best, and all of our teachers and staff are available to connect with you and again attend to those special needs. All right, online, again, make sure that you check out the Facebook page for Trinity Nursery School. For those of you who don't mind sharing, again, get the good word out. We've got a great school here, and we're very proud of it. We could use a few more students, so Brenda always asks us board members to share the post, and you never know who that might trigger. As always, you can check out our church website for additional information. And then, again, I mentioned before, keeping email addresses updated so that the school can communicate with you accordingly. All right, volunteer hours. So families are required to volunteer at least 4 hours during the year. And so there are various volunteer opportunities. So take a look on the table back there. I know if it's teacher prep or some other activities that are forthcoming, again, 4 hours is the request. Parents who do not contribute their time will be charged a $10 hour service fee. So keep that in mind. And then the service hour contract is part of our parent form. All right, and then something new this year that I think is a great idea. If you find that your schedule is just too busy to volunteer, which we hope that isn't the case, you can provide supplies to TNS. $10 in supplies equals 1 hour worth of work. And so Brenda will be listing those supplies out in our newsletter. So if that's the route that you want to go, certainly take a look at that. Or you can also join the board. Brenda mentioned before that we are seeking a treasurer. And so if finance is something of interest to you, by all means, either connect with myself or Brenda or any other member of the board. And the other thing is that it fulfills your volunteer hour requirement. It's a great resume builder if you're looking to do that. And yeah, we would love to have you join us. The time commitment is once a month. We meet and connect on TNS. All right, paying tuition. So all payments are due by the 15th of the month. There's 3 ways that you can pay tonight. So 1, you can pay in full. 2, you can sign up for Simply Giving, which is just an automatic deduction from your checking or your savings account. And then the 3rd way is paying each month by either check or cash. And so there are some incentives. If you choose to pay in full tonight, you'll get I believe it's a $25 gift card. And then if you sign up for Simply Giving, you'll get a $10 gift card to a retailer that is available. So 3 great ways to pay tuition. All right, so fundraising. We all love to hear the word fundraising, right? It's not that bad. we're going to talk a little bit about fundraising. And so we choose to use Script. I know that most, if not all of you, are familiar with Script. It's buying gift cards at face value. And then when you spend that gift card, a percentage is given back to our organization. And so again, it's very easy. And one thing is that the money is already in, the budget and what you spend. So one new thing that we have this year is a new app. And so we're going to talk about that here in just a second. It's called Raise Right. And so again, this is just an image where, typically you'd go from your house to the store. But now with this obligation, you go from your house to TNS and then to the store. Okay? So again, these are just some of the retailers that are available for the Script program of buying gift cards. So again, buying gift cards before you shop. So ways that you can buy Script: you can stop at TNS and purchase what you need. You can also stop at the information booth when church is back open to get your Script that you need. The other thing is that you can send an envelope in your child's big blue bag with what you want to buy, and within 24 hours that'll be turned around and the gift card will come back to you in your kid's bag. Or you can order online at shopwithscript.com. So again, buying them from the store there. And then, like I said, we have a Raise Right new app that I think people will enjoy. It makes it very easy to track your gift card. So again, you don't have to carry the actual gift card to the retailer. It's all part of the app. All right, so an example, we put this together. So let's say that you spend $100 in Quick Trip, Walmart, and Cashwise for the month, $300. If you take the profits from each of those purchases at Cashwise, Quick Trip, and Walmart, again, you're going to see that each of the retailers offer different percentages. So again, if you get gas, make it a habit to go to Quick Trip because we get a higher percentage. So again, total profit for the month, $9.50. Take that times 9. And your Script obligation or your fundraising obligation is met, and it puts a little more cash in our pocket as well. All right, so again, each family owes a $75 fundraising fee. So again, if you choose to kind of forgo everything related to Script, you can pay that fee, or you can choose to raise those funds throughout the year. And so again, at conferences, we'll notify you of the progress that you're making towards that goal. Again, the reason why we fundraise is to be able to allow our children to go on field trips, or to support our scholarship ministry as well for folks who need a little extra assistance. All right, in May, any portion of the fee not raised through the purchase of Script will be due. So again, keep that in mind. And then there may be optional fundraisers throughout the year that we choose to do. And so last year we did a spaghetti feed that really supported our fundraising or our scholarship fund. And so again, a perfect way to get volunteer hours there, come in for a couple of hours, help prep food, help serve, help clean up. And again, it's really important for the scholarship fund here for us. Okay, I covered a lot. I hope that you found this informative. I know sometimes in these large settings we're not quite comfortable asking questions, but I do want to make this time available for anybody that has a question. Certainly Brenda's making her way up here. We would love to answer what's on your mind. There's a lot of information that's in the handbook. So again, read it over with your significant other, your child's parent, again, to make that a really positive experience. But anything that's kind of weighing on your mind at this point? Do you maybe want to talk a little bit about like COVID, and will masks be required for kids? Or, I think that was maybe a question that I had. What will that look like from a staffing perspective and from a kiddo perspective?
Sure, we can talk a little bit more about that. Most of the information is on the yellow sheet that you guys received. We will not be doing children masking. If it's a family choice, we can certainly try for it and go for it. It's just not a real educationally and developmentally appropriate positive activity for 3s, 4s, and 5s. So we are going to be grouping our classrooms individually to help with the social distancing, so those groups are not going to be crossing paths together. They'll be using some of the same spaces, but we'll be able to, but not have their bodies in there at the same time. And we are, I didn't mention this when we talked to introduce the staff, but we are in the process of hiring a 3rd teacher assistant for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings when the most classes are in session, so that each class will have their own teacher assistant, and they'll be able to kind of hunker down and cohort together. Our teachers will be shielding or masking, depending upon what activities are going on. But because of that cohort or that smaller group size, they can they can shield as one of the things that Department of Human Services says we can do. So that's kind of the big thing, the biggest things. The big thing is, if you're sick, stay home. I think that's kind of the biggest thing. We have to, put our feet down and say, I think it's time to stay home today. If we all work together, we can make it. We can do it. Department of Health basically says if somebody comes with a diagnosis, we just need to call because they'll have the most updated information on what the recommendations are at the time. So, we could have an issue with closing that, we don't want to have. But obviously we can't really foresee how that'll play out until it's actually playing out. The good thing then to balance that with is Owatonna Public Schools has their basic information out, and elementary students will be in the building 5 days a week for the first 2 options, either regular or distance, or hybrid they call it, which is a little more spread out for elementary. So that means elementary will be in the building until the worst case scenario if we close down like last spring, which is good for us because we can feel confident that we would be in that same boat with our small groups and our small class sizes. So there shouldn't be a lot of unknown and switching back and forth. We're hoping that Steele County keeps its numbers nice and low, and we'll just be good to go. And I'm trying to think if there was something else I was going to say, but I can't. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good question. So last spring, in the middle of May or middle of March, when everything stopped, our teachers did go distance learning with our classes, and so they were primarily on Zoom making connection with groups and doing that connection at least the days that you would have been in school. So that's how that worked out. We learned a lot, and we were able to pull in a lot of resources and do a lot of things that way. Fairly successfully, obviously, on a range for everyone, but the kids knew the routines, the kids knew the people, the kids knew the teacher, so in those ways, I think it was a positive experience. Obviously, if we'd be sitting here and we weren't coming to school in September, that would be a totally different picture that we would have to think about really hard, but since it worked fairly well since everybody kind of knew each other already.
What else is on your mind? Yeah, go ahead.
They'll be shielding mostly, like what Mrs. Meyer has on, yes. She's our example of the shielding in the back. We're getting a couple different kinds of shields from Shields of Steel, which is a local nonprofit that's doing a lot of work with shields. So we'll have a couple different kinds to choose from. Possibly masking as well, or not necessarily together, but depending upon if it's If it's like in the hall, in the shared spaces, there'll be more masking. In the rooms, there'll be more shielding. If that makes sense. They need to be supervised at all times. So when they need to go to the bathroom, if there's not a teacher assistant in their classroom at that time, they're just right out in the room that all the rooms are attached to. And so the teacher in the classroom will just say, you know, Elizabeth has to go to the bathroom, and then that teacher assistant will take them, go to the bathroom with them, and monitor and help, you know, monitor them within reason if what they, you know, if they need help with a button or a zipper, or reminding, you know, lots of, I can hear the bathroom chatter from my office, and, you know, I hear many times about washing hands. So it's always a continual learning process about reminding and washing hands and singing and counting and two paper towels and all of those things. So they will have assistance there for sure.
All right, so any last minute questions? All right, so within your little program, on the far right side, there is a checklist. So before we dismiss and let you break, we're going to go through that checklist just to make sure everybody's aligned with what they need to do before they leave the facility. So we've got our teacher tables in the back. So take a look at those. Fill out and turn in your home visit, school visit. I think it's a salmon color. I forgot to update the color of the form. But make sure that you stop by your teacher's table and sign up for a time for that visit. Sign up for Simply Giving. Again, if you sign up for Simply Giving, you get a $10 gift card. If you pay your tuition in full, there's a $25 gift card. So again, make those tuition arrangements. And then purchase scripts. So again, this is a great way to get started on your goal of the $75 fundraiser fee per year. Schedule, again, your school visit. Sign up for volunteer opportunities right here at Carly's table. Again, I think that there's a couple of different events and an opportunity to help out with projects. And you can sign up for before school and after school care. So again, if that's of interest, please see Brenda on that. And then again, confirm your transportation. Are you going to be taking advantage of the TNS van or the Smart Bus, which I believe applications, and Brenda can fill you in on that too. So, all right. Again, if anything comes up and you have questions, please feel free to reach out to any of the board members. And again, we're excited for this year. There's a lot of unknowns, but let's make this the best year that we can for our kiddos. They need it, and we're here to support them. So thank you.